Now, here's Wendy.
I've got so much to share. I love you too. I've got so much to share with you today. Have you noticed Rihanna and Katy Perry are no longer friends? Well, I think we know why now. We'll talk. Plus, Lindsay Lohan has not one, but 3 new sugar daddies. And Chris Brown is a sore loser, and we've got the proof. Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. Everybody. So, people are still talking about Chris Brown at the Grammys. I noticed when I teased that he's a sore loser, a lot of people in the audience, you started nodding like, you saw that? Well, we're here to dissect it for you. Okay, you know, when Frank Ocean won, it was a category, remember, it was Frank Ocean, Miguel, and Chris Brown were in the same category. Personally speaking, I thought Miguel should have won, but that's a whole nother topic. Anyway, Frank won, and Chris didn't join in the standing ovation. We've got the B-roll. Chris is in the white suit. Let's look together. See? Yes. Sore loser. Remember the fight? Remember the fight in the parking lot? Well, I was happy that Frank won over Chris just because that means that Frank won, you know, anyway, to make Chris madder. And they say it looks like Adele noticed that Chris didn't stand either. Later, she was seen talking to him, and look, by the looks of this picture, she looks like she's talking tough, like a mom. And like he's like, but Adele, I didn't mean it. Anyway, Chris Brown and Rihanna, everybody, were seen getting cozy Grammy night. We already talked about that. But Rihanna's friend Katy Perry seems to have reportedly slipped from her life. Well, here's the thing. According to Perez Hilton, Katy is furious that Rihanna is even back with Chris Brown. And it's ruined their friendship. Just last year, it was Katy and Rihanna who were together at the Grammys. They looked like they wanted to go home together too, right? Look at they're sitting. But they were at the Grammys together, and at first I thought this was a manufactured friendship, because sometimes publicists want celebrities to be friends just because it looks good. But they were seen so much together that, and I finally realized what it is that they do have in common, and that is both being pop stars and both understanding a particular way of life. And so now that Chris is back with Rihanna, it's just kind of ruined it for Katy. You know, she's like, you know, why? How could you? And then some people look at Katy and say, well, why and how could you? Because she's with John Mayer. But a cheater and a beater are 2 different things. And besides, and I'm just saying, like, you know, John, who's now 35 years old, he's known for being a womanizer. You know, he's admitted that he's a jerk. He dated Jennifer Aniston. He was a jerk after that, remember? He dated Jessica Simpson. He was a jerk after that. Although I wouldn't mind it if a guy said my body was a wonderland in bed. Remember he said that about her? He said that about Jessica Simpson, but it was still talking out of school jerky. That was Jennifer Love Hewitt. He dated her too. We forgot to put her on the list. Yeah, hey love. Anyway, and he dated Taylor Swift, and of course that didn't end well either. But it seems like he may have changed his spots. He's a changed man. He says that his new relationship with Katy Perry feels like, that's a really good picture of both of them, isn't it? I mean, just John, because he's just John, a crushed velvet blue suit and that smirky smile. But her in that dress, you look beautiful. The makeup, the hair, the dress, so good. But But what he says about this relationship with Katy Perry is he says it doesn't feel like a celebrity relationship because they do a lot of regular stuff. And he says, yes, he can see himself married someday. He didn't say to her, but he said someday. And I mean, we know that they do regular stuff, and she's got a really good glam squad. Remember the picture we showed you yesterday of her in Hawaii, just to remind you. Show that picture from Hawaii. You clean up really well, Katy. Back to the mint green dress. I want to show everybody something. You know, this dress right here, it's by Gucci, and it was by far like my personal favorite dress for Grammy night. I love the dress. And it's really crazy how sometimes, you know, one dress on two different body types looks totally different. We found a Taiwanese actress who has on this same Gucci dress. Look what it looks like on her. Two different dresses, right? If I saw it on the Taiwanese girl, I'd be like, ew, random dress. Katy, you're doing things to that dress, and I see no spank line. You go, girl. So, did you watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last night? This is possibly one of the most exciting seasons ever, and I really do think it's because Brandy just stirs the pot and doesn't care. Like, you need somebody like that in all the franchises. Brandy and Adrienne Maloof went at each other's throats last night on Real Housewives. Remember, the feud started because Brandy let it slip in front of the cameras and everybody at the party that Adrienne had, down at the bottom, had her children via surrogate. So last night, they fought because Brandy is saying that Adrienne is suing her over letting the cat out of the bag about this big secret. But Adrienne denies it right in front of all of us. Let's watch together.
No. You're not suing me.
No.
Not ever.
There was no lawsuit. No,
There's
you're
nothing.
absolutely wrong. Why have you attacked me so maliciously and you care about my life so much?
I care about your life?
Obviously you do. You care about everything that I do. You know what?
I don't care about anything you do. I care about what your lawyer does to me.
Stop.
Okay.
I care about my family and the things that you have said,
Yes.
and I don't think it's nice. It's you and your
Oh,
friend doing
you're
that.
joking.
Are you joking? Shame on you. Shame on you for being so calculating.
You.
Sidebar, that Adrienne Maloof, that face is packed with all, that's a tight face, Adrienne, just packed. But Paul's the plastic surgeon though, right? Paul's the plastic surgeon? Okay, so, free. Anyway, my thing, Brandy, is that you should bring those legal documents in every single handbag you carry. Leave one in your glove compartment, leave one in your visor, and you should have definitely pulled one out of your clutch bag if, in fact, you were served and maybe Maloof was trying to lie to us. But Brandy is like the Kenya Moore of Beverly Hills. Yeah. You know, the Atlanta Housewives, she is. So now E! News is reporting, by the way, that Taylor Armstrong is on her way out of Beverly Hills. All due respect, it always gets sad when she comes on the screen because her husband committed suicide and she's still trying to get her life back together. But they may be replacing her with Faye Resnick, who I love. Do you remember we first met Faye during the OJ trial? She was friends with the late Nicole Brown Simpson, and now Faye is friends on The Housewives with Kyle Richards, and Faye knows how to stir the pot, and she gives good hair and good look. And a lot of attitude. So Faye's name is being stirred around, and also Rod Stewart's wife, Penny Lancaster's name is being stirred around. Yeah, that's Penny, she was a model. I don't know what her personality's like, but if it's anything like that little tiny dress, I bet she's a whole lot of fun. And the connection that the Lancaster Stewarts already have to the Beverly Hills Housewives is that Rod's son is dating Adrienne Maloof. Yeah, Adrienne Papoof. Anyway, moving on. So last night, the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition cover was revealed. And you know, this is a big deal for all the models every place. For the second year in a row, Kate Upton is the cover model. It's okay to look at her pendulous breasts. They're good. Thank goodness for elbows. She got them pushed together. It's good. What I like about Kate Upton is that she seems like every girl. I'll explain in a moment, but she's 20 years old and she's the only model besides our friend Tyra Banks to make the cover 2 years in a row. A lot of people say that last year, the cover made her famous. Oh, piece of confetti. Sorry. A lot of people say that, you know, last year's Sports Illustrated cover made her famous, but I still didn't, because I don't follow the Sports Illustrated covers like that, so I still didn't know her. One day I was in the kitchen making dinner and I turned on TMZ, and there's Kate doing that dance, the Cat Daddy. That was the first time I ever heard of her. If you want to practice how she does it, I'm not going to do it right now on account I don't want to fall off my heels, and I don't do it as well as her. But how she does it, look, she goes like this. It's good. Let me tell you something. If you want to see her do the Cat Daddy, get on the Googler Schmoogler, and just all you have to do is dial her up for doing the Cat Daddy. She does that dance like nobody's business. And that dance to me made her seem fun, and all of a sudden I was like, who's this white girl with all this rhythm? And that's how I know her. And at that particular time, her hair was dyed white blonde, and now it's more, if you look at the cover of the Sports Illustrated, more everyday blonde. She's really the kind of girl that you'd pass on the sidewalk, wouldn't you? You wouldn't realize that she's a model. I think that's what makes me like her even more. Congratulations, Kate. Okay. Lindsay Lohan's up to something that I absolutely agree with for her. I know, but I finally found something that she's done right recently. Lindsay, everybody, seems to have found a new way to keep the cash flow going. Now, you know she's in financial strafe. She's got not one, not two, but 3 sugar daddies. Couldn't be my daughter, but, you know, when I look at Lindsay, I say, well, she might as well just do this route for right now. So according to Perez Hilton, she's gotten very close with Vikram Chatwell. Vikram, you've seen here on Hot Topics before, we've talked about him. He's the multimillionaire who owns several hotels here in New York City. So he's got lots of money. Then there's an artist by the name of Domingo Zapata. He's so rich that he lives in hotels in New York and Los Angeles. He's so rich he looks poor, and you know that's rich. That's rich, right? And then there's her friend, the richest of them all, Prince Haji Abdul Azim. He's worth billions. According to UK's Daily Star, Haji allegedly paid Lindsay $100,000 to be his New Year's Eve date. Tomato. And then Lindsay might have a 4th sugar daddy. Yeah. And she crashed an Amphar event the other night with this 4th one. He's this rich Saudi entrepreneur. She wasn't even invited to the Amphar event. That's how far she's fallen from grace. Like, people don't even invite her places anymore. But as long as she stays hooked up with these guys and this money, she'll get in places, she'll get Gucci bags, she'll keep her extensions done. And I mean, because don't you often wonder how very wealthy people like that who aren't making the money, how do they pay their taxes? And why are they always in fabulous cars? And I mean, the Saudi guy, is he the one with the Porsche?
No, that's the artist.
The artist, sugar daddy. He has a Porsche, that one, and he let her borrow it, and that's when she allegedly hit a woman in a parking lot. And then but she does not get kicked out of the circle. They just keep going with her, and whatever she has for these gentlemen, it's so far working for her. She was at that Amphar event, though, like I was saying, you know, and that was one of those events. No, she wasn't invited to it, but if she sobers up and straightens up, then she can still go to these events with these rich guys and eventually meet important people to plug her back into acting. Because, so, work the room, Lindsay, and work the program also. Whatever program the judge puts you on. You want to see a good 76-year-old woman? Yes. Look at this ageless beauty. Here, Helen Mirren. Beautiful. I mean, what I love about her is that that's the same dress like a 27-year-old woman would wear. She's 67. What did I call her? Anyway, she's 67 years old, but this dress is like timeless if you've got the right body. And she does, and her stance, and I love the color of her hair and the side part and the swoop down and tasteful makeup. It's good. But if you think her body looks good, I have to show you her new hair. It's our hot shot of the day. Take a look. I love that. I absolutely love that look. I don't think it's, you know, grandma's gone batty. I think that's Helen Mirren wearing a good, tastefully colored pink wig. It's not too deep of a pink. Her makeup is great. She's not trying to compete with the wig by smoking her eyes out too much or wearing. It's just good. You know, it's amazing what wigs can do. I mean, it really is. This is how I came to work this morning. Look at this. Just a couple hours ago. That was me. I call that my Joy Behar, but don't tell her. Anyway, the search for new X Factor judges has begun. Now, as we know, Britney Spears and L.A. Reid are gone. And we need somebody on the panel who's gonna really entertain us, two people, and say it like they mean us, and hold us to this show. So one of the lead contenders for one of the spots, I would imagine it'd be the LA spot, seeing as he's black, Ne-Yo, the 33-year-old singer Ne-Yo. Yeah. I like this idea. Ne-Yo told Extra that he's in talks with producers and can't reveal more. There's no more to say, Ne-Yo. I think you've said everything by just saying that. Ne-Yo says that he's been in this business for a long time and that he's definitely has enough experience to help somebody on their way up, and he definitely does. He's so talented. He's a writer, he's a singer, he's a dancer, he's a father, he's a husband, he's all that. But one thing he is a bald man with an odd-shaped head. Now, let's talk about this. No, let's talk about this. If you don't recall him having an odd-shaped head, it's because that's how much he wears his hats. Now, if you know anything about Ne-Yo, you know that the hats that he wears are actually his hat line. And I do appreciate that, but either he's always wearing a hat or always wearing his sunglasses, or a combination of both. Now, when you get this job, and it's apparent that you're going to get it, Ne-Yo, you've got to switch up your look, and you can't wear a hat inside more than once a month. That would be, really. You can't wear hats inside all the time, and you can't wear sunglasses on account of, we don't want to see shady, Ne-Yo. We want to, well, actually, yes, we do, but not shady with sunglasses. We want to see shady, like, tell him like you mean it up there at the judges' table. And I know Ne-Yo enough to understand he'll be able to come with the criticism and really, tell these upcoming singers how, they need to, serve it better. So, Ne-Yo, hopefully this job is yours. But remember, switch up the look, be comfortable with your baldness and your bigness, and everybody is gonna be so comfortable with you. Congratulations. So, we now know who's going to play Lisa Left Eye Lopez in the upcoming movie about TLC. It's going to be coming on TV. And, Left Eye is no longer with us, so they had to find somebody. And I think that they hit it right on the head. Rapper Little Mama. Little Mama, you look really pretty in this picture right here. You look really pretty in that picture. Little Mama had that hit song, My Lip Gloss Be Poppin'. I don't know what she was trying to do in this picture right here. This is an old one. But anyway, she was most recently a judge on MTV's America's Next Best Dance Crew. You remember her from that show. And no word yet who's gonna play T-Boz in Chile. but they have their Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and I think they did a good job with that. My recommendation for chili is, you know Usher's sometimes girlfriend, Karrueche Tran?
Chris Brown.
Who'd I say?
Chris Brown.
Who'd I say?
You said Usher. Chris
Usher.
Brown.
Sorry. Well, technically speaking, Chili did date Usher, so I could have Chili on my, or Usher, that man on my mind. Anyway, Chris Brown's sometimes girlfriend, Karrueche Tran, would make a good Chili on account of she's small, like 98 pounds, and she's got good baby hair effect also. But I don't know whether she acts, so we need an actress to play the roles. Anyway, thank you, TLC, for getting this movie going. Thank you, thank you, thank you.